All right. So, Davey, you just hit the record.
Yep,
Thank you. All right. I think we're going to be good to go here. Let me get two more in. I have to kind of keep an eye on that. Okay. I'm going to assume I'm being recorded. I don't see myself.
you're there.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first webinar we've done since November. We're really happy to have you join us today. We are going to try to share some best new practices for job seeking on LinkedIn. I am joined by my Vice President, Dayve Gabbard, and she has been with me for 8 years as of this Saturday. So welcome, Davey. And Beth Wagmeister from the WAG Group is doing our ASL interpretation, and she has been a longtime colleague. So we're really glad to open this up to an additional audience. So with that, I think I'm ready to go. And Davey,
Do it. Let's get started. We also want to remind everyone, if you would, just make sure you're muted. If you want to turn your video off, you're welcome to. If not, stay on with us so we can see your beautiful faces. And also, we wanted to remind you that we are adding a 15-minute networking and Q&A to our webinars now. And so we will stop recording after 30 minutes after our content, and then we will open the floor up for questions. So if you do have any specific questions during the presentation, just put them in the chat and we'll take a look at those, and we'll use the 15 minutes. We don't want to record the networking because we do want to give you an opportunity to ask questions and create a safe space for everyone to network and clarify. So just know that that's coming. So let's get to the next slide. Okay, great. So we always like to start with the basics and remind you what our approach to LinkedIn is about. And the DWCS model is we're old school networkers, that we use cutting edge technology, and we base our principles on the know, like, trust philosophy. You do business with people you know, like, and trust. And trust in these days of AI are more important than ever. So the first thing that you need to do is to have a complete and optimized profile. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. The next thing you need to do is you need to grow your network in a way that builds value, is consistent, continuous effort to grow your network and build trust with the members on LinkedIn. You will hear us say this time and time again, do not pitch out of the gate. No one likes it. You've had it done to you. You didn't like it. I don't understand. It's bad LinkedIn behavior. It's also pretty bad sales behavior, actually. So don't pitch. Build that relationship. Find out what someone's pain is first. I like to treat LinkedIn as if it was a network mixer. So if you were a network mixer and you met someone and exchanged business cards, you wouldn't drag them into the corner immediately to try to sell them your product or services because you don't even know what their pain is. Don't pitch out of the gate. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And then when you're engaging with the content, do it in a way that builds value and demonstrates your expertise as a subject matter expert. Make sure that it's authentic in your tone of voice and in a way that builds value. Okay. So let's go on to the next slide.
oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I think we're going to switch over to here.
Okay, so we're going to go through some of the LinkedIn statistics. Oops,
I'm sorry. One
that's okay.
second.
Top ribbon. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to advance properly. There we
Yes.
go.
Okay, so current LinkedIn statistics. Why LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn just turned 22 years old in May. They were actually founded the same time as Facebook, but didn't pick up traction right away as quickly. But they have over 1 billion members in 200 countries, so there are plenty of people to connect with. Company pages is what we used to call them. There's over 7 million, they call them just pages now. And those function as a mini website. So if you have a small business or you're starting up, you may want to consider just a LinkedIn page versus your own website. HR offices worldwide use LinkedIn as part of their recruiting strategy. There are over 4 billion searches that were done in LinkedIn on 2024, and our goal is to get you to show up in those searches. And the site continues to grow exponentially. 7 new members a second around the world are added to LinkedIn. So it truly is the place to be for business networking.
So here's what's important. They're going to cover some basics first just to make sure everybody's aware because we always find people that aren't. The very first thing people are going to look for is your profile. You want to have a current headshot. The suggestion now is every couple of years, but if women, for instance, make a major change in hairstyle or color or something like that, keep your headshot current and cut at the shoulders because whatever image you use, it's cut in half when you show up in a search result alongside 9 other people. So make sure you have it cropped at the shoulders and so that your face, smiling face, is filling the frame. Include a background banner. That's the area behind your headshot. If you are, certainly if you're a business owner, which I'm guessing most, maybe a lot of the people on this call are not, you're in transition more likely. But if you do have a business, you can use that area as what we call a standing ad and get your logo, tagline, contact information right there on the banner. When you embed that information in an image for the banner, it cannot be scraped. And there is a lot of that goes on LinkedIn with over 1 billion members. There are some people on LinkedIn that shouldn't be. And you don't want to get hit with a lot of spam, so that minimizes it. If you're not a business owner, think about where you live. You can Google your area or the closest metropolitan area and put free images after the Google request. So Boston, free images, and just hit images when the first page comes up. And you will have plenty to choose from that is copyright free. Pick a horizontal shaped image. Remember that your headshot's going to go in the lower left corner and choose a few of them so that you're trying to match up with the pixel count. Keywords, those are essential. Think about your expertise. Keywords are not adjectives. They are what you do, what you are best at, what you can offer your next employer. What are you really good at? And what out of all the different things that you can do, and everyone has dozens of keywords. What do you want a potential employer to know about first? And you want to get those keywords together in your headline. These are the 5 basic fields where the search engine is going to immediately look for a search that is being done organically. So if someone doesn't know your name or anything about you, what would they plug in the search field to bring up someone like you? So think about your expertise. If you're a project manager and an HR person plugs in project manager in the search field, you want to be at the top of those search results. To do that, you have to have a keyword optimized profile, and that means at the bare minimum, get project manager into every one of these fields. Your headline, your about section, current experience, past experience, and skills. And there are many more areas for keyword optimization that we've learned over the past 14 years. This is what we do for people. Also, your narrative. A lot of people skip the about section because they don't quite know what to say. Think about it in terms of, okay, someone comes to your profile. You are an active job seeker. What should that viewer know about you? And you don't have to write a book, but you do want to have a mix of information about who you are, what you do, what you'd like to do, why you think you're pretty good at it. You've got to get into a bragging mode a little bit, at least with bullet points, and let people know why they should want to know more about you. Okay, building a network. We want to start with your contacts in your phone. If you have not done this, please do it. Just look people up. I prefer to do it that way selectively. There are some people in my contact list. I'm friends with them. I'm associates, but I don't necessarily want to be connected to my ex. Hello. But you want to go through all the contacts you have in business or your phone, any membership lists. If you happen to belong to a chamber, if you belong to any, I'm covering a bunch of different things here, college-related lists of people that you associated with in college, business networking groups, any professional groups you belong to, there you have an access to a membership list. Start with all of those resources. hopefully you're doing some networking like we are, in person or on a Zoom call. And if I'm on a Zoom call like this, you ought to be bringing up the participant list and writing down names. So you want to connect with people on this Zoom tomorrow or today or whenever you can go to LinkedIn and look them up. Your ability to be found is dependent upon each new connection you make. So if you're not connected to Davey and I, there's a slide at the end of this with our information on it, so you can easily connect with us on LinkedIn. Your count's going to go up by one for connections, but you're going to bring, for me, you're going to bring 16,000 more LinkedIn members into your network instantly as what's called second level members. It's the network you have and that you continue building that has access to finding you in an organic search on LinkedIn. That is how it works. And it's built on first level connections. So Davey and I are connected. We're first level. I saw a number of people on this call that we're connected to. We're first level with all those people. But it goes on two more levels below that. And this is why you never stop adding to your network. Every time you add a new person to your network, you're blowing up your network in a really good way to be found by thousands of additional members when HR or anybody else is doing searches for what you can provide. Okay, this is something brand new and it is available to premium members. Okay, I am a premium member. I don't have this yet. It's brand new, but I was given a screenshot from, let's see, I think Kevin gave it to me. Kevin Turner in Dallas. He's a great person to follow. He has a lot of knowledge about LinkedIn. So what it does is you type in a search, you search for a title of a job that you'd like to have. They give you an initial list of potential jobs. Maybe sometimes they're not going to match up the title you asked for. Okay, if it's more than one word in that title, put quotes around it. That's going to help narrow down your results to what you're looking for. But if you still haven't found what you want, AI is going to suggest other titles based on your profile, your data. It's all instant and it's a really cool new feature. And I really hope they make it available to free members, people that are on the basic membership. But it's coming. They keep adding on new options to do with AI and it gets better and better. So take advantage of that when you get it. And this is what I just explained. And you can also search through your own network. And I believe that feature is now available to basic members as well. So when you go to the Jobs tab on LinkedIn, make sure that you're looking at everything on the page that's being offered when you start doing a search. Okay, always use all filters. That's across the top of the screen when you have an initial result list, and you want to use every one of them. The date the job was posted, the distance away from the job. If you are remote, there's a choice for that. You can narrow down your filters. You can narrow down your search results and make them more fine-tuned by using the all filters tab across the top. Make sure you're following companies. Just about everybody searching for a job has an idea or a few companies that they'd really like to get into. Go to their company page and follow it. And that's going to get their announcements into your feed. You can also look directly through their jobs on that page. Davey is going to explain your
Hey.
journey.
So your LinkedIn is fantastic and your engagement is amazing and your network is growing and the jobs are showing up and the interviews are coming. So what are you going to do now? Like we got to get you into this process. So there are some things that just have not changed. And one of those is that a cover letter is a fantastic tool. It's the way to move beyond the resume. You become more memorable as a candidate. It's really an opportunity for the hiring manager or the recruiter to imagine your tone of voice that's not in that weird resume speak that we have to use. And make sure in the cover letter you're identifying a challenge that you are there to solve. We are in the problem solving business as employees and consultants, right? And right now you're selling yourself, and that's the key to sales. Fix your problem, fix your customer's pain point. At this point, the hiring manager is your customer and what are their pains and how can you solve those problems and articulate that in the cover letter. The next thing is to prepare for their interview. And here's an important thing to think about because truly listening is an important skill to have as a professional and to demonstrate. And you've all been there where you've been in conversations and you can tell someone is not listening because they are already trying to figure out what their reply is going to be, right? Their wordsmithing. They may not have even heard the last half of your sentence. I experienced that a lot with my boyfriend. So active listening is important. A way to make sure you do that when you are in interviews is you can restate the question as a part of your answer. Okay, so in that wordsmithing. So show genuine interest and continue to demonstrate how you are an asset. Listening in those interviews, picking up on those cues of what the pain point might be, and then how you can be the problem solver for them. Now, here's an important interview question, and we've all asked or been asked it. What is this most important question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now, when you hear that question, no matter how it's asked, what you're really hearing is, where do you see yourself in 5 years here at this company? Okay. You want to make sure that you don't tell them in 5 years, you hope that you're a digital nomad and you're traveling Europe backpacking with your, with your iPad. You want to show them that you are committed to the company, committed to being an asset to them and where you see where you see yourself inside that company in 5 years. We'll make sure. And then always follow the company page. Debbie mentioned that as well. We used to call them company pages. It's called a page now. We still call them company page. You can go to that page, follow it. You can browse the employee list on that page and see if you have any connections, any second level connections that you could invite to connect or maybe find a common member to make the introduction for you. And also there is, depending on if the company has turned it on, there's an opportunity to notify them that you're interested. So the HR people get a heads up that there's a candidate out there, even if you haven't applied yet. So that's a good tool. And find the HR people, find the hiring manager and find the recruiters, connect with them. They want to see people that are smart and have moxie and have a way to solve problems and get through the applicant tracking software and get to the decision makers. So don't hesitate to reach out to the HR and the hiring managers and connect with them even before applying for a job. All right. Now, here are some best practices for engagement. And this is, they say you teach the things you need to learn. And this is where I struggle. And if you were to look at my LinkedIn page, you would know this is where I struggle with consistency and executive function. So the first thing to do is connect and acknowledge and communicate. Keep that going and on a daily basis. When you're reacting and commenting on posts, it's creating traction for the poster and also for you. You're getting more visibility. Every time you interact with the feed, it's throwing it back up into your network's screens or their feeds saying that you've interacted with content. And then when you have something of value to share, post it. The beauty with posting now is you can schedule things in advance. So if you're a person like me that is not consistent, you could sit on the weekend and kind of look at your week and post some content in advance just to keep the traction going on your website. I might try that myself. And then be consistent. It doesn't matter what you post or when you post or how you post or what, consistency is the most important thing. Your posts and your content and your engagement will continue to grow and evolve as you become more proficient and more comfortable. The key is consistency. Consistency. Yeah, yes, Paul. And sometimes a fake smile helps too. So we may have mentioned it. Consistency is the key for engagement. All right. Now we wanted to spend a little bit of time on mindset as well, because when you're a job seeker, it can be tough, especially if you're unemployed and seeking, right? Then your job is finding a job. So we wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about mindset and the mindset of gratitude, because it's scientifically proven that it boosts your resilience. It helps you stay positive. It helps you bounce back from setbacks. Spending some time thinking of the things that you're grateful for and feeling the feeling of that can change your entire attitude and your entire energy and the way people receive and perceive you as well. It reduces stress. When you focus on things that are going well, you feel better than when you focus on things that are stressing you out. And looking for a job may be stressing you out. So it's a great daily practice to just even maybe before you throw throw the sheets back and put your feet on the floor, spend a moment in gratitude and think of the things that you're grateful for. And then it increases your motivation. When you recognize small wins, it keeps fueling your confidence and you can move forward. And Debbie and I both have been long-term unemployed, and it's hard. It can be a real grind. And when you submit those resumes and you don't even hear back, or you don't hear back after an interview, or maybe you thought it went well and it didn't, it can be, depressing. And so it's important that we find a way to keep staying motivated, recognizing small wins, and staying with a positive attitude. There are tools to do this. I will send a link in my follow-up email to an online tool for free gratitude journals. So how do you do it? The first thing is to feel it. If you are a follower of The Secret or the Law of Attraction, you will know that when you get into the feeling of your best emotional place, the happiness, the feeling of gratitude, it will improve your frequency. It will lift you up and it makes you more attractive. People like to be around people that feel good to be around. So taking that time to feel it inside your heart will help you express it. Write it down. Picture it didn't happen, right? Write it down. You can find gratitude journals. You can find printables online. You could just have it in your journal. I am grateful today. You can do it in the first thing in the morning. You can do it before you close your office for the day, or at the end of the day before you go to bed, to keep yourself journaling. If you're not a linear thinker and lists aren't your way, you're more of an organic thinker. There's a mind map tool, and we'll send a link to one of those in the follow-up as well. You draw gratitude and then you just draw the things that you're grateful for, and those things that you're grateful for. I prefer that over a list, and then share it. Share the gratitude. Handwritten thank you notes are a really important part of our process. You could have Gratitude Thursday where you spend 30 minutes writing thank you notes, or share it LinkedIn style. Go into LinkedIn, make an introduction for someone, find someone that you've mentored, and comment on their page. Give a network member an endorsement for skills, or a recommendation. Recommendations are fantastic. I love to see executives that give more recommendations than they receive, because that tells me what kind of leader they are, right? So that's just a little primer on gratitude. It's a great way to start the day, and it's a great way to keep your head screwed on straight as you're job seeking.
And I'm going to add to that. That was great, Davey. And you're right. We've both been through long-term periods of unemployment, and there's nothing great or fun about it. When you find yourself drifting away from that mindset, and you will, the hardest thing and the most consistent thing you can do is try to get right back on track. Find something to be grateful for. Find some positivity in that lousy day when you grinding 7 hours in a row. I
Yeah.
remember, and getting nothing out of that day. Move on. Just get it out of your mind. Find something good to focus on and move on.
The one
This
thing I use more than anything when I'm feeling myself getting jammed up is I spend time with my pet. Take my dog for a walk, and she makes me happy. So petting your dog or cat, they are a free energy re-up. They're just waiting for you to give them some attention so they can give you their heart.
Pets are great. This is a whole page of free resources from us. If you're not clicking off every single thing on this page, please start doing that. Certainly connect with both of us. Follow our page on LinkedIn. We've got more tips there. We do have a YouTube channel, and our website has some free downloads. This is our contact information for each of us, including Beth. Thank you again, Beth, for everything you do for us. And I'm going to breeze through this because I'm not one to brag, but I did start including this so people would know who they're learning from, if they move on and take any coaching from us. I'll let you go through that on your own time. Voice messaging. You must start using this. The phone is a great way to leave a 1-minute voice message. It's very cool. The steps are right here. This is about as clear as it gets. So this will also be included in the reference documents that you'll get soon after this webinar. And then this is just a page of everything that we offer for different services. Above and beyond, I'm going to encourage all of you to set up a 15-minute time to talk with us over the phone when you can have your profile in front of you. If you've done this before and it's been, a year or whatever, feel free to schedule again. Davey and I both give out those reviews and we love doing it. We will share some valuable tips within 15 minutes, we promise. I'm going to go over to LinkedIn and I'm going to get into,
To
I
change
think
your
you're going to
share.
see, do you see my screen first, my
I
homepage?
no, I just see the word or the PowerPoint.
Okay, sorry. One second. This is new, so bear with us. We want some engagement here. And Dave, you don't have access to the chat, do you?
I do.
Oh, all right. So can you start reviewing that while I figure out
Sure.
how to get everybody onto LinkedIn?
Yeah, so Mike, normally see some chat. Yes, keep it positive on LinkedIn. Nobody likes a negative Nelly. It's never going to. There's a time and a place for constructive feedback, and there's a time and a place for griping among your friends, but don't put it in writing and don't put it on LinkedIn. It's not going to reflect well on you, even if you're right. A lot of times being right doesn't help. Okay.
Can you can you see my screen now
I
on
can.
LinkedIn? All right. I'm going to go to the jobs tab first and tell me if there's things in the chat that I can address, Davey, while
Sure.
I'm
So there was some questions about headshots. Someone's asking for recommendations for headshots. What's a good amount? And then what about AI headshots?
okay. So this is new. I just learned this yesterday because up until now, I've always said, don't use anything except a real headshot in your profile. Well, as it comes out, the terms of agreement that everybody signs off on when they start a LinkedIn account, you can use, they prefer you to use a like image of your headshot, but you can get into a bit of animation. I don't care for anything except for a real headshot, and you can take an effective one with your phone. I'm not against professional photography. In fact, I'm all for it. But sometimes when you're in transition, the funds for professional photography aren't there. Get someone else to take your picture. Crop it at the shoulders. Do not use a logo. Don't use text in there. We've seen it all. But you do want to have a relatively recent headshot. Okay, that's our preference.